The power of playing president. You can't be what you can't see, so it's harder for women to say, I'm going to be a presidential candidate. When it comes to playing fictional presidents, women are lagging behind the men. In film, there have been only 9 women presidents, 4 since 2000. On television, there have been 20 female presidents, 18 since 2000. The problem is not only how few representatives of female presidents we have, but how the women became president. Most rose to the presidency after the death or resignation of the president. Only one, President Roberta Payton, was elected into office.
Well, at this point, you are technically the President of the United States. Unless, of course, you should choose to resign.
That why you're here, Nathan? Ready to take the oath as soon as I do the right thing and step aside?
Would you all give me a few minutes with Miss Allen? It's going fast, isn't it? That's what I resent. I resent that I don't have time to mourn my friend. Ship of state just sails on regardless. They told me that he asked you to step down. And I think you should.
I'm sure that you do.
No, I'm not telling you to do it out of respect for his wishes, and certainly not because of anything I might want for myself. The world's in turmoil, Mac. It could go any which way. This is not the time for social advances made for the sake of social advances.
Meaning a woman in the Oval Office.
No, meaning a woman as the leader of the free world. How many Islamic states do you think would follow the edicts of a woman? Very few, I fear.
Well, not only that, Nathan, but we have that whole once a month will she or won't she press the button thing.
Well, a couple of years, you're not going to have to worry about that anymore. But you know that your vice presidency was never, ever intended to be a presidency. It was done as a stunt. I mean, you can see that. You're a female. You're an independent. You're a teacher.
University chancellor.
A philosopher queen. But the point is, it was all done as pure theater. And you got great reviews. But now you should get off the stage while the audience still loves you and before they figure out that your vice presidency was a whole lot of nothing. Because when they get a look at that go-away mission he sent you on to Nigeria for, what's her name? The adulteress?
Oria Medulla.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be another piece of theater. But then you up and went to France and asked them for assistance. France? You asked guys who can't get elected without the Muslim vote to intercede in the verdict of Nigeria's Sharia court? Come on, Mac. Oh, God, we're going to end up looking silly and ineffectual because you're never going to be able to save her, and we're going to lose face. And for whom? A lady who couldn't keep her legs together.
Nate, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take the oath of office. I'm going to run this government. And if some Islamic nations can't tolerate a female president, then I promise you it will be more their problem than mine.
Why? Why do you want to be president?
For the same reason Teddy Bridges did. Because I believe the people of America deserve to have a president.
No. In this room, where it's just you and me, just the two of us, the answer that you should be giving me is that you want to be president because you want the power. You want the power to control the universe.
That's not me.
Well, that's the problem. That's what I'm telling you. People who don't want power have no idea what to do with it. They have no idea how to use it when they have it.
Mr. Speaker, I would very much like an invitation to address a joint session of Congress tomorrow night.
Before the funeral?
Before the markets open. We want to convince the world there's no crisis of leadership, right?
You have a Bible handy.
Becca, what about that one in your room?
Here. Here's mine.
I, Mackenzie Spencer Allen,
I, Mackenzie S. Allen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
So the media shows us that women can become president, but only if they leave their femininity at the door. Power comes at a cost. And by taking on that masculine role, women are forced to leave behind other aspects of their femininity, including humaneness and motherliness and kindness. They are now cold, driving, ambitious, and manipulating. They get power, but at what cost? Using the characters Selina Meyer, Claire Underwood, and Mackenzie Allen, we see how family and marriage are represented when there's a female president.
Hey, so let me see the photo face that you and Kent were working on. That's not good. You're flaring your nostrils. It feels natural. I'll tell you what, can you watch me? See if you can mimic this, okay? Like, more like this, like. You see that? That's right, honey. No, that was good. That looks happy. Even if you're not happy, that's the trick. You gotta make sure she has height here, a lot of volume, because her skull is low. It's kind of indented.
How long has she been like this?
Forever. 15 minutes.
Okay.
Wait, come on.
Okay, your big day is a travesty, all right? I get it. It's like my 21st birthday, or my 18th birthday, or every other birthday, okay? Your entire life has been leading up to this moment. And as a result of that, my entire life has been awful. Posing for Christmas cards, watching C-SPAN instead of Sesame Street, going to memorials of old Israeli men that I've never even heard of. I have had a hard, lonely, miserable life. And the only thing that is gonna make it worthwhile is if I become the daughter of the next president of the United States. So you need to go out there and you need to stop behaving like a little bitch.
Okay, sweetie, I am not a bitch, but thanks. And that jacket doesn't work. By the way, you look like a waiter.
Oh, God damn it. It's okay, I fixed her.
Hello, Pumpkin. What brings you here?
I want to show Regal where my mommy works. Could I see her?
Well, I don't know. Do you have an appointment?
No.
I'm sorry, honey, but your mommy's in a meeting. You're not going to be able to see her now. But I'll let her know you came by.
Do you want some water? Or some juice?
I think we've got some juice in the fridge.
I'll get it.
He's very cute.
Do you regret it, not having children? Oh, I'm sorry, that's too personal.
Do you ever regret having them?
You know, Catherine, men are horrible. Okay? I mean, I have to just tell it to you like it is, honey, but all men are awful, really. And the key is to just find a man who's the least horrible.
Big deal. He was here to make a scene. Somebody explain to me how we can get the North Koreans to stick to an agreement, but we can't get a two-term congressman to honor his word for more than 24 hours?
Because we have no recourse, Mac. We have no allies, no infrastructure. I mean, we can't do anything to keep him or anyone else in line.
Guys, we need a minute.
Of course.
You can't talk to me like that.
Well, I can't tell you the truth.
It's inappropriate and makes the staff uncomfortable.
Oh, come on. I didn't say anything that any one of them wasn't thinking.
It's not what you said, Rod. It's how you said it.
Oh, so now how I speak, that's a problem. Listen, I am your husband, and if I can't speak to you...
You're my husband. That's the problem. It's always been the problem.
I have supported you. I have worked for you. I have backed you up your entire political career. And I did it because I thought that I brought something to the table. I thought that I did something
as an extension of our marriage. The lines are getting blurred, Rod.
Let's run together again. Not just as husband and wife.
You don't mean...
Yes.
I'm worried about you, Claire. You're not making any sense. You've let your ego get in the way.
I've always been your running mate. You just didn't want to see it.
As my vice president, Jesus,
I've
do you have
put
any
a lot
idea?
of thought into this.
You can't have thought it through, because if
She
you
has
did,
no
you would have come up with a
experience. She's never
million
run
reasons.
For anything. No children, nepotism, arrogance. I've run through them all. You can't win without me.
I would rather have a spineless Donald Blythe as my vice president than a woman who's never held elected office.
You're losing to a woman who's never held elected office.
You don't deserve it. You have no idea what it means to have nothing. You don't value what we have achieved. I have had to fight for everything my entire life. Do you know why I kept this? Do you know? Because it's the one time I was proud of my father. Because this man, in this moment, as despicable as it was, is fighting to survive. He is doing whatever it took. And so will I, with or without you. So no, I will not have this conversation. I will not indulge you any further. You have to let this go.
I can be a part of your campaign, or I can end it.
But these women do have power.
Get the shit, Selena.
Oh, here it is.
All roads through Colorado go through me, and the toll just went up.
You're playing a very dangerous game of chicken with the head fucking hen. Because if I don't win the White House, O'Brien is gonna sink your stupid boats. And you're gonna look like a hair-sprayed asshole in your 1980s Mother of the Bride dress. And if I do win, I will have my administration come to your shitty little district and shake it to death like a Guatemalan nanny. And then I'm gonna have the IRS crawl so far up your husband's colon, he's gonna wish the only thing they find is more cancer. Good God. So, can I count on your vote? Or do I need to shove a box of White House M&Ms up your stretched out 6-baby vag? Yes, you can count on my vote. I think I want to hear a okie dokie Annie Oakley.
Okie dokie, Annie Oakley.
Oh, super duper trooper. Now get the fuck out of here, Congresswoman.
Madam President?
Mr. Speaker, good of you to come.
You look great. An appendix, yeah. Are you sure it's okay for you to be up and around?
Did you really think you had the right to come in here and make policy changes?
Not only the right, but the obligation. I saw what I thought, what I think is the perfect solution to the desperate problem that this nation was facing, and I enacted it.
My mediation team was on the verge of getting a concession from the workers that would have resulted in a contract that both labor and management could have signed. That's not going to happen now, because all of the goodwill that was cultivated in getting there is gone.
That's not true. You know it, and I know it. You were no closer to an agreement yesterday than you were a month ago. This country could not wait any longer. So, I acted on this country's behalf.
You didn't do this for the country. You didn't do it on anyone's behalf. You used this office. You used the American people for your campaign, for your cronies, for your massive ego.
That's nonsense. What I did for this country. I liberated it. You couldn't make a decision from this office. Well, I could, and I did.
And if I ever needed another reason to prevent you from holding this office, I have it now. And I'm going to do everything in my power. And I have the power to see that that never happens.
You can't prevent me from holding this office. That's for the people to decide.
You have crossed the line with me, and there is no going back. Now get the hell out of my office.
Yes, ma'am.
Donald. Don't do it.
Claire.
I know what you and Senator Mitchell were planning. Do what you were supposed to do. Move the anti-filibuster measure forward so the Senate can vote and elect me vice president.
No.
No?
All voices should be heard out of respect for the American people and the gravity of the vote before the Senate today, the first like this since 1825.
The House is about to vote, Donald. What is going on? Let's get this done so you can go home.
It looks like Conway's going to win, and no matter what people have told you, the Senate is voting for Brockhart. It's country over party, Claire.
Are you flexing?
I'm stalling until the House vote happens and then the Senate votes accordingly.
You do that to the party to which you've devoted your entire career?
The country needs clarity and resolution. That's the most important thing. There'll be another election in 4 years. But look, I saw you when Francis was in the coma, what you're capable of when given the opportunity. You still have a shot down the road. I'd vote for you.
Whatever you think, I know I have the numbers.
I don't think so. But come on. You're not like him. Be patient.
You're a fool, Donald. You always were. You and your dumb, dead wife that you never ever shut up about. Principled, idealistic, a champion for the people. What did you ever actually do? Nothing. The great crusader? I don't think so. You just liked the position of the bumbling idiot that you are. The optimist, the idealist. You loved it so much that you couldn't even make a deal or move a single thing forward. You have a legacy of nothing. Sign the measure, get the Republicans off the floor, start the vote now.
You know what I just realized? Your initials. They're missing an N and a T.
Skirting for success, the dress code for women to play president on television. According to the female characters on television, women must wear a dress or skirt and high heels in order to be president. Is this to emasculate them? Or for us to remind the audience that they're women? So women are able to take the White House and the media, although in order to do so, they must act masculine but dress feminine. The media shows that when a woman is president, she's lacking in something else. But is that the way that it really needs to be? Congresswoman Josie Marcus talks about that in Scandal.
My pleasure.
Let's get right to it. The Reston campaign says that you lack the experience to be president of the United States. What's your response to that? Congresswoman Marcus?
There's something my grandmother used to do whenever I'd start dating someone. I would tell her his name, and then she would say, "Oh, what part of town does he live in?" That was her way of asking if my boyfriend was white. Oh yeah, my grandmother was an out-and-out racist. So I know what prejudice looks like. It's not about experience, James. It's about gender. Reston's saying I don't have the balls to be president, and he means that literally. It's offensive. It's offensive to me and to all the women whose votes he's asking for.
I'm sorry, are you saying that Governor Reston is sexist?
Yes, I am.
What the hell is she doing?
And it's not just Governor Reston speaking in code about gender. It's everyone, yourself included.
Excuse me?
The only reason we're doing this interview in my house is because you requested it. This was your idea, and yet here you are, thanking me for inviting you into my lovely home. That's what you say to the neighbor lady who baked you chocolate chip cookies. This pitcher of iced tea isn't even mine. It's what your producers set here. Why? Same reason you called me a real-life Cinderella story. It reminds people that I'm a woman without using the word. For you, it's an angle. I get that. And I'm sure you think it's innocuous, but guess what? It's not.
Congresswoman Marcus.
Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking.
I have to stop this. Don't you dare.
You're promoting stereotypes, James. You're advancing this idea that women are weaker than men. You're playing right into the hands of Reston and into the hands of every other imbecile who thinks a woman isn't fit to be commander-in-chief. Yes, Governor, I'm talking about you.
7 years I served in the United States Army, which is 7 more years than Governor Reston ever served. A fact you conveniently omitted from my intro. How about soldier? Lieutenant?
Yeah, that was an oversight. I'm sorry.
Football.
Media influences our lives, whether it intends to do so or not. Feminism is an ideology that believes all genders of sexual orientation should have an equal right or opportunity as any other. If media used feminism as its viewpoint rather than the traditional male gaze, it would not only encourage society to get to know people based on their qualifications rather than their gender, it would also open up the way for creativity and allow new scenarios to be imagined. This would cause real change.